All right, everybody, welcome back. This is High Octane, and I am your host, Bob. I got a couple new people, a couple new gentlemen coming on with me this week. They're pretty well known in the local car community here in Tennessee. So let's give them a very warm welcome to High Octane. Curt, James, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
I'm James.
I'm Curt.
And we're
Welcome to the show, my people. Like I said, High Octane. New guests. Curt, I've talked to you quite a few times. I've seen you out. James, this is actually our first time virtually face-to-face talking. So it's actually, I appreciate you guys coming on. This is really cool. Taking a little bit of time out of your evening to chat with me. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, anytime. So all right. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves formally and tell everybody a little bit about yourselves?
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Curt Curtis, and I have a company called Full Octane Insurance. James and I partner in Full Octane Garage, which all started as a joke in naming my garage, and then it grew into a YouTube channel, Instagram, Driving with Melissa, which James and his wife have, and and then it spawned off to a side business, which has turned into my main business, which is Full Octane Insurance, where we insure collector and exotic cars in many states, actually. And we can do a lot more insurance, but predominantly collector and exotic cars is what our specialty is.
Yeah, I've got your website pulled up with all your offerings. So yeah, you offer a lot of different things, actually.
Yep, and that's my wife and myself that run that piece of the business. James and I have all of the Full Octane Garage YouTube channel and Instagram for Full Octane Garage, and that's kind of our car reviews. I do some of my builds on it, and anything car related, anything octane related. I mean, we're trying to avoid electric, but we may not have to be able to for long.
No, probably not.
Yep. I'm James. I'm the other half of Full Octane Garage. I met Curt at Cars and Coffee in like 2000,
forever ago.
Yeah, 13 or 14. And we just started hanging out, and we were taking pictures and video. And you see that was back when some of the YouTube channels were pretty young. You saw how successful they were becoming. And we thought, well, since we're here at the car events, we have cars and we're taking pictures and video, why don't we just throw it on YouTube channel? So we named the YouTube channel after Curt's Garage, Full Octane Garage. And don't go back and watch the old stuff.
It's embarrassing.
It was fun. We had a good time with it. This has been learn as you go. We've had a big gap. COVID kind of shut us down for a while, and then we both moved down here to Eagleville, and Curt's in the middle of building a garage. So we plan on getting the YouTube channel back up and running, but we've been working on our personal outlets also. Driving with Melissa, I started about 3 years ago, just to kind of do daily vlog stuff with my wife and I, and literally just daily vlog stuff. And we get 1 to 2 million views a day on that. Now it's kind of blown up, and it's paid for a car or two. So that's
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's more her than me that's built that page, but I'm the administrator.
Well, you're always the one behind the camera, so
I am.
There's that.
If he was only a little better looking.
I'm never going to be that good looking. I enjoy, I mean, I'm not a car photographer, but I like car photography. Everything we do is on the iPhone, unless we do a review where we've got some GoPros running. We literally shoot everything on the iPhones now, just because I think it's better than most of the other equipment out there. We always have it with us so we don't miss opportunities. And it's that way we do the work.
Well, and early on, we got the idea that we had to do these cinematographic, gorgeous videos, and they would get 200 views.
Right.
But when we would do something with just valuable content in short format, they might get 20,000 views. So we've had it's been a lot of trial and error on the YouTube channel to figure out what the magic bullets are. We found GMC truck reviews are a golden ticket for us. We seem to do quite well with how-tos on GMC trucks. My builds and the things that we have passion about will get 300 views, but at the end of the day, everyone helps pay a little bit. Now that we're monetized and stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. At least you're making money off of it. I'm not there yet. I don't know if I ever will be really. It's like I said, I don't really care if I do or don't. Obviously, if I do, I'm not going to turn it down.
Well, we went into it with the premise that we're having fun. It's something that we can do, car related, and if it makes money, it makes money. We got lucky, and when we first started our YouTube channel, you did not have the requirements that they have today to be monetized. So we got monetized fairly early, but the channel grew, and I think we're 12,000 followers or something like that.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about our demographics is we get way more views. I mean, only I'd say 90% of our views are from non-subscribers.
It's all SEO driven.
So it's all SEO driven.
Interesting. Oh,
what's how-tos? Yeah, but searchable stuff, generally speaking.
We've kind of expanded into Porsches and Corvettes and Jaguars, and we have a number of different cars and marks, so we kind of go all over the board.
I think there's probably 18 cars between us right now. We both moved out to a small town, to Eagleville, south of Franklin, just to get away from it all. But I've got a couple 1,000 square foot garages. Yours down here is probably at least 1,400 or 1,500, right?
Yeah,
that one there.
Now it's going to be 4,200.
Yeah, so we're turning what is now a horse community into a car community. They just don't know it yet.
It's a horsepower community.
That's right.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that switch for sure. 18 cars between the two of you, huh?
Yeah, I've
That's
got
pretty crazy.
One is selling tomorrow, and a replacement will be coming by the end of the week.
Yeah, we rotate the stock seems to go pretty quick. I went and drove an Evora GT today, and I was out looking at an MC20. I mean, that may be. Yeah, the R8 may be on a short lifespan. We'll see how.
I actually saw that post you put on your page there. Are you seriously considering the replacing the R8 with the MC20?
Well, possibly. If you look at, I always say that every car I have is the last car I'm going to buy.
Well,
but,
as they come out. As they come out with
the whole fleet in about 2 years or so that's probably a lie.
Well, yeah, as they come out with new stuff, you always have to reconsider that statement.
Primarily, Curt is known as the Corvette guy, and I'm the Jag guy. Yeah. I've got some super rare Jags, and Curt's built some super cool Corvettes, and that's kind of our bailiwick. But the Audis and the Porsches and some of the other stuff, that's all more our daily driver or rally cars that we drive.
At the end of the day, we like anything with an engine.
So what are we looking at? What's our project?
Oh,
yeah.
Our project is we're looking for a Porsche Cayenne to turn into a Porsche Cayenne Safari.
Yeah, we like to look
kind of like where the 911 Safaris, Porsche Cayenne Safaris are getting pretty big. Jack them up, put big tires on them, put the lights, the roof rack, all that stuff.
That's an interesting project to do.
A little bit different than we're used to doing, but
yeah, I would say I've seen a couple of your builds, Curt. That 63 Corvette you have is ridiculous. I've seen it a few times in person. Very, very nice car.
Thanks.
I actually have a picture of it that I will show to everyone so they know what we're talking about. This is from the Good Guys Car Show that I saw you at last.
Oh, yeah.
1963 split window. Everything's underneath is modern though.
Yeah, it's a full resto mod. It's got an SR3 chassis. It's got C5 Corvette suspension and running gear, Camaro ZL1 Dana 60 rear, a crate LS3 in it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's a monster. It weighs about 2,800 pounds and has 430 horsepower.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
do. I'm
that'll
sorry.
that'll move pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Too good.
We go out and we'll do drives, and he'll be in that, and I'll be in the R8 or a Porsche or something like that. And I'm following him, and we'll get a straightaway, and he'll pick a spot, and he'll just pull away. You know, you're on some of these back roads, and I mean, theoretically, you could probably do 80 miles an hour on them. Not that we do that,
Yeah.
but
We're in Mexico.
the car just looks when I'm following him, it looks so composed and tight on the curves and all. It really is an exceptional driving car.
It is.
It's not. It is certainly not a trailer queen in any respect. He can drive it to and from the car shows.
Well, that's huge respect in its own right there, that you actually drive it. Given
The
how
only
much
problem-
money you've put into that thing,
Yeah.
it's
The-
awesome
the
that you
only-
drive it.
The only problem I have is I'm like you. I'm too tall for many cars.
Yeah.
And I find that if I drive it for more than, I'm going to have to put cruise control in it, because if I drive it for more than an hour, hour and a half, my leg will start cramping or going to sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know exactly how you feel.
Yeah. And I'm like, man, I love the car. And I almost thought about selling it because I don't fit in it. But then I'm like, no, I'm just going to put cruise control in it. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to suffer.
It's interesting.
No, it's automatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. I get very uncomfortable very quickly in a lot of vehicles. I have an Audi A6, and I drove it to Michigan a couple, maybe 2 months ago. Even in that, I was after about 4 hours, I had to stop and get out. I was just
I drove James's R8 for a half hour, and I felt a little cramped in that.
Yeah.
You know, James has the luxury of being just a little shorter, and it makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah, I'm 5'10". I think I'm the perfect car height. It's like I could do fighter jets, which I'm too lazy to do, and then and cars. So I just drive cars, but I do.
But
there is something to be said for that.
how's the width on those tight seats?
It's getting better. I'm working on that.
Well, I've never sat in an R8, but I sat in a C8 Corvette, and it surprisingly isn't too bad width-wise, legroom-wise.
Did your head hit the coupe?
It was it had the top. It wasn't a convertible. It had the Targa top off, so I don't know about headroom.
My head hits the back beam in the C8 Corvette stock. Now the convertible has 3 more inches of headroom, and I fit in that decent.
Okay.
But I can't do a coupe. I guess my torso is long enough that when I like sitting all the way back.
Right, I do too.
And when I sit all the way back, my head will hit the top no matter what I do. I've tried 3 different types of seats, and every one is the same problem. So I'm kind of giving up on a C8.
Yeah, I might have that same issue then. I've actually only found 3 vehicles that I physically am incapable of driving because of how tall I am and how small the cars are.
A Miata.
A Miata is one.
Yep.
The Honda S2000.
Yep, that's another one.
And the very first generation of the Porsche Boxster.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. I cannot do it. Like, I drove one once, and my left knee was literally sandwiched between the door and the steering wheel.
Wow.
So yeah, those are the only 3 that I've actually found that I can't drive. So
Well, you're not missing anything on the Boxster. So.
I would imagine not. Maybe the new ones are semi okay, but yeah, that first generation was just, I don't know.
Yeah, like I came in a GT4, and I can do it, but it's tighter than I like, because I've got a 911 also. The 911, it's a 991 version of it, which is a bigger car.
Yeah.
And the seat slides way back, so I can get pretty comfortable in that car. It's not hard to get in and out of, especially for old guys like me.
Yeah, I had a Camaro before the Audi, and it was kind of rough getting in and out of. It was a little low, and I fit in it fine, but I drove it to Atlanta, and it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Oh wow!
Got to switch to Jag.
I actually looked at some Jags while I was looking for the. Well, I wasn't looking for the Audi, but when I found the Audi, I was looking and I broadened my search by quite a bit. Jaguar was they were on the radar. I just couldn't find anything that I liked for the money that I wanted to spend. So I do like the Jags, though. I looked at a couple of yours that you have. Curt was telling me when I talked to him the other day about your Project 8 that you have.
Yeah, it's a 2019 Jaguar XE Project 8. It's one of
2019.
220 in the world, and I think there's 35 in the United States. And as of right now, it's still the world's fastest car on the Nürburgring. Four-door sedan on the Nürburgring, right?
But it does beat a Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's faster than a Lamborghini Huracan on the Nürburgring.
What model did you say it was?
It's a Jaguar XE Project 8.
XE?
Yeah.
SV Project 8. All right, I've got it right here.
Right. There was originally a Jaguar XE model that was a smaller four-door sedan, kind of their entry-level car. Came with a 2-liter and a 3-liter engine, and they just set out with their SBO department, their special vehicle operations, and they said we're going to set the record for the Nürburgring. And so when they got into this car, the only panels that are left on this car that are original to the original XE is the roof and the 2 driver's side and the 2 front doors, because everything else, you put more horsepower, bigger brakes, bigger wheels, bigger fenders. So the entire car has been changed, and it's a monster. It literally is it'll run with anything we do. I put 3,000 miles on it this year doing road rallies, and it's right in the thick with anything that's out there, and I can carry everybody else's luggage. So that's
well, there you go. Now I know this isn't the one that you own. Yours is white, but I just wanted to get a general picture of the car so everybody knows what we're talking about.
I'm trying to talk him to putting in the cats on the side, but he's not going.
Yeah, mine came with the stick with the delete on the side stickers. That's okay. The other car that we've got is a XKRS GT, and it's one of about 40 in the world. And I bought this one. I looked specifically for this model and spec because it matches the XKRS GT to a T.
And you've only got one car left to get.
Right. There's 3 modern rare Jags, and the Project 8. I'm one of like 3 or 4 people in the world that have these 2 cars, and then the Project 7. I think there's 150 of those, and so I'm currently kind of passively looking for the Project 7. If I get that, I'll be one of, I think, 2 people in the world to have all 3 rare modern Jags. And if I get it in white, which is what I'm trying to do, I'll be the only one with a matching set. And that's kind of mine.
Right.
Everybody's got a goal. That's my goal.
What is this Project 7 that I've never heard of?
It's a 2016 F-Type, 575 horsepower roadster F-Type. Yeah, it's got kind of
I think I know what you're talking about.
If you just type Jag Project 7, it's going to pop up. There it is.
Let's look at that. I like the F-Type, so I guarantee I'll like that. Oh yeah, I've seen this before.
Right. Yeah, it's got the number ball on the side, the wing. It's got the arrow behind the driver and passenger. Is it driver or just that?
The bottom right hand corner there is the one I'm looking for. That white one. The one to the left of it. Yeah, that's the car I'm trying to buy. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a ridiculous bring a trailer auction about 2 years ago that added about $100,000 to the value of these cars. Well, a perceived $100,000 value to them compared to what it was before. So the market's got to settle back out before I do something for that.
Yeah.
That's the other car.
Yeah. It's got a true carbon fiber splitter. All of them do. Exposed carbon fiber. It's just a crazy car.
But these are good cars, like the XKRS GT and the Project 7 and all, especially the XKRS GT. They're made for taller people.
Yeah.
There's room in the back seat. There's a huge amount of room behind in the coupe. There's a bunch of room in the back of it.
Because it's a hatchback.
Right. It's a GT car. So they're not the fastest things on the road, but they're really fast. But they make for great road cars and rally cars, things like that. And I just like the unique ones. I think if you're going to buy something like this, then it's just good fiscal sense to buy the rare ones. So that's what we've been doing. But I'm driving the depreciation right into them.
For sure. Now has this Project 7 been stripped down bare bones like the XE like you have?
Yes. No, this is it is a performance car. Again, it's 575 horsepower. I think except for the Project 8, it's the most horsepower that Jag has put in a car. It does not have a fixed roof. It's got a fabric, whatever you call, like a bikini top that you pull out.
Yeah.
Lots of carbon on it. Yeah, it's and they're not getting driven. I probably have the second or third most miles on my XKRS GT of anybody in the world right now, because I drive them all, and I drive them all the time.
Yeah, the Project 7 actually came with a race helmet too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. If you bought the original one, it was an option to get the matching race helmet and the matching color. Yeah, that's the.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah. This is the one that we have.
Yeah, actually, a lot of these pictures are probably mine.
This one looks a lot like the one that you have. Yeah.
There's 40, basically 40. There's a question about how many exactly, but there's 40 or 42 in the world. Basically 10 UK, 5 Canada, and 25 in the United States. And all the ones in Canada and the United States were all white. There's 2 red ones and 1 black one in the world, and then these here.
It's a crazy car.
Yep, we drive it pretty often. That's an XKRS. We had one of those before we bought the GT.
Yeah, we've got a whole video on him buying that car at auction at Amelia Island.
Yeah, that's a fun bit. I've never been to a car auction. I've never bought anything like that, and we probably.
Well, so here's how it played out. I get to Amelia Island first, and we're wandering around checking all the auctions out.
Because you got a car on the lawn.
Because I got a car on the lawn, and so we're like, I go to the auction, I see this car, and I said, "That's the car James wants." So he's driving to get to Amelia Island. Halfway there, and I call him up, and I knew it was going to get him fired up. I said, "Hey, your car's here. It's going to go off," and he's like, "Oh, I can't do it."
Well, and what he didn't realize was there's one particular car that I've been looking at for 3 years that was on the cover of my Facebook page for a couple of years running. And this is actually the car. It's the VIN number car that I was looking at. And it was in Palm Beach. And the guy decided to sell it. So he took it to Russo and Steel auction up at Amelia Island. And so I jumped on the phone, got with my banker, got a line of credit set up. And then Curt and I went and looked at it. It looked perfect. And so the next day, Melissa was asking me what we were going to do. And I said, well, we're going to go check out a car auction. We've never done that before. So we went down to the car auction.
And James is like, hey, they give free drinks.
Yeah, so we got free drinks. I never really mentioned that we were looking at bidding on a car till it started rolling up onto the main stage.
And I'm like, hey, James, isn't that the car you were interested in?
Yeah. So I looked at her and I said, well, if that came in at a good number, I ought to bid on it. She's like, well, it's a good thing we don't have anything set up. We didn't bring a check or whatever. And I said, no, you can't write a check for that car. You have to do it with a wire transfer, and I've already got it all set up. So that went, yeah, that's all on video. If you dig into it, about 3 years back in the Full Octane garage, yeah, we captured that wonderful moment. But it was heartrending.
Yeah, you were about to have a heart attack.
Yeah, but it was fun. I don't know. I would love to do it again, but boy, that was that was nuts. But I did get it. I got it. And that was a huge coup for me. That's what really kicked off the rest of the Jag garage.
And we're talking about the XE, right?
No, the XKRS.
XKRS GT.
Okay.
I went and just bought a 2018 rear-wheel drive R8 a couple of years ago and had it for about 6 or 7 months. I was going to keep that car. It was going to be my rally car. We were just going to stack the miles on it. And one of our car buddies sent me a link to a Project 8, and I looked at it and I thought, darn, they they weren't as expensive as I thought they were going to be. And it just got me thinking. And I started digging around on car gurus is the worst thing that's ever happened to a man in my
Agreed. 100%
That or bring
agree.
a trailer.
Yes, they bring a trailer. Yes.
Yeah.
So no, I ended up finding the exact spec that matched the GT, and I called Curt up one day and I said, "Dude, I think we're going to do it. I'm going to go trade the R8 in Columbus, Ohio." And I called. How long? I gave him 30 minutes notice.
Road trip.
And said there was a snowstorm had just come through, and another snowstorm was coming. And I said, I think we have like an 8-hour window to run up there, do this swap, spend the night, and then make it back. And we did. We literally slid in about 30 minutes before. That was a snowstorm that we were locked in our subdivision for 6 days here.
You imagine buying a brand new car, getting home, and not being able to take it out for 7 days.
Yeah.
That would not be fun.
Well, they're Cup 2 tires and all.
It's 4-wheel drive, but it's
but those Cup 2 tires in any kind of slippery conditions are not going to do good. Yeah, it's not going to do good at all.
Yeah, yeah. But so Melissa said, "Don't do it. You love the R8." And I did love it. And then about 2 months later, just ironically, I have a TV in my office, and I was looking at it, had YouTube running, and
Amelia Island again.
No, this is the other.
Oh, the new R8 was Amelia Island.
Oh yeah, that's the. Well, that's what got me thinking about it. I was looking at the YouTube channel. It was Will Motivation in Columbus, Ohio, and he said my best friend just bought his first supercar, and as you get into the video, it was my R8 that I had traded. And Will's he's got a big channel. He's got a couple 100,000 subscribers, and he gets a lot of views. Well, his best friend bought my R8 that I traded on the Project 8. So I jumped back on Car Gurus, and again, I thought, wonder what an R8's going for now. And then, we ended up going to Amelia Island again, and there were only 2 blue R8s in the United States at the time that were for sale, that were new. And one was here in Nashville, and one was out there. And we ended up, Curt got me on the phone. I literally just got on the phone. I said, I'm just going to beat this guy down until he quits, and that'll tell me what the window is of acceptability for the one in Nashville. And like 2 days later, I kind of accidentally bought an R8 on the phone. But I was down there. I was in Amelia Island to bid on a Project 7. It was the wrong color, it was green, but there was they paid my way into the auction and everything to go bid on a Project 7. And the day before, I bought that R8. So
you didn't want that Project 7 anyways.
I didn't.
If you're gonna spend that much money on a car, you get what you want. Get absolutely what you want.
I wanted them both really bad.
I get that. I get that.
Yep. But anyway, so it's I didn't want to get them all at once. I love the hunt. I love the process, and it's just, you got to have goals out there. So
I think James is sworn off Amelia Island. It forces him to buy cars.
Yeah, it's not been good for me. Amelia Island is very expensive to attend.
Now, where is Amelia Island? Is that in Florida?
Yeah, it's the northern part of Florida, and they have a big concourse show there every March.
Oh, okay.
So you got Monterey in West Coast and Amelia Island on East Coast, and they're like the 2 premier car shows and concourse every year.
And surrounding it is like 4 days of nothing but car auctions, all the major auctions, not Mecum, but all the major high-end, like RM, Russo Steel, all those guys are there. And there is big money moving on cars. You're talking, Ferrari, F40s, very, very rare cars that are rolling across the block, and just huge money is transacting. It's at the Ritz-Carlton in Amelia Island.
I would imagine there's some big money moving hands at something like that. I've never been to any kind of concourse car shows or anything like that. And the only auction I've ever been to is a very small Mecum auction in Chattanooga.
Did you go to the concourse in Chattanooga though, when they had it there?
I can't remember what they called it.
Yeah, it's called they're getting ready to have it again, I think, here shortly.
If it's the second weekend of October,
it is.
Yep.
I have been to it. I went there last year.
They have it on the main drag, kind of down by the water.
Yes.
So that was probably this is the second or third year that they're doing it down there again.
Yeah, I actually talked to my buddy about it today. We're going to try to go again
If you
this
get
year.
a chance to go to Amelia Island, it's worth going to see it. It's a spectacle. They also have the Porsche Works reunion. There's probably 1,000 Porsches that come in for that. And they have that all on a golf course. All this stuff is on golf courses. So they basically take these nicely manicured golf courses and turn them into a car show.
Yeah, of course. Well, I want to. I mean, I'm 40 years old, but I want to go to everything car related that I can. So
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, so Curt, I got to ask you, man, why insurance?
We got into insurance by accident. Haggerty had an insurance rep here in Nashville by the name of Brad Phillips, and he's turned into kind of a big celebrity out there. He was with Haggerty, kind of their spokesman. He's now with RM Auctions. He's kind of their director of events. And they basically had a little bit of a hole in Nashville, and we were really tied to the car community. We knew a lot of people. I was very helpful to a lot of people in the car community with information. And they came to Debbie and I and said, hey, if we could get you an insurance appointment, would you be interested in selling some car insurance? And we were big consumers of it because, we had a very large amount of cars. And so we said, yeah, sure, we'll give it a shot. And we didn't think anything of it. We thought it would be something fun on the side to do. And it's turned into a really nice sized business. I mean, I have collections that have probably 700 cars in them.
Holy Jesus.
I've got local collectors here in Nashville that have 170 cars. And we're not talking small cars. We're talking Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Mopar Hemis. I mean, just incredible cars. And so going to these concourse shows, going to these various events, I've got known as kind of they call me when they want to start talking valuations of cars, so when somebody's thinking about buying something, because I deal so much with these big collections, I kind of have an idea what values are. Haggerty has some nice valuation tools.
Right.
But my whole thought process when I started an insurance company was I don't like captive anything. I don't like buying insurance from State Farm. I don't like going to Edwin Jones to stock trade because they're so captive. They want their products sold. So what we started was a brand in Full Octane Insurance that we got appointed with Haggerty, Grundy, Heacock. I was the second company to write Corvette Museum insurance. And also all these major insurance, collector car insurance companies, now we have access to. And when somebody comes to us, we can take their particular vehicle, how they're going to use it, and place it with the right company, get the right value and the correct coverage. Duncan Imports here in town, they sell a lot of right-hand drive stuff, but it's all 45-year stuff. A lot of traditional insurance companies, because it doesn't have a 17-digit VIN, they won't even touch them. So they exclusively come to me for insurance on those cars because I know where to place those oddities. So I'm kind of bring me all your odd stuff. I'm the odd guy when it comes to doing insurance.
That's cool. You see, I didn't know that the right-hand drive stuff would be so difficult to insure. I mean, I don't know that part of the business. I just build them.
Now, what's interesting though is some people buy those. Strangely enough, some people around the country, and we write in about 22 states right now. It's growing into multiple states, so we're not just in Nashville. Through word of mouth, through our YouTube channel, through our Facebook presence, things like that.
Right.
But the right-hand drive cars, strangely enough, these small mom and pop post offices buy them because they're right-hand drive and they can put letters in the mailbox.
Right.
And then it becomes a commercial vehicle, and I have to go through some different avenues to be able to insure it that way. So the real key that we focus on is not your daily driver. Has some collectability in nature. It's your secondary vehicle, and it's all agreed value. So where somebody will buy one of those right-hand drive Nissans, and it'll like an old 240 or something, and Kelly Blue Book will say that thing's worth $8,000, but it's really a $30,000 car. So when I write an insurance policy for somebody, I guarantee them $30,000 if that car gets totaled, stolen, lost. So I look at cars as my rolling 401k. It's an investment. And if somebody whacks my 401k, I want it replenished. And that's really the philosophy that we've gone with our company.
And how long have you been doing this?
We're in year number 5, I think.
And you're the
I'm
top 10?
I'm the top 20 Haggerty agent in the whole country.
Wow, that's awesome. That's
For
very
3 years,
impressive.
3 years running.
Very impressive. Very, very cool. James, have you always been a car guy? When did you get into like the whole car thing?
Oh yeah, my dad retired from Ford, so
Okay.
and we had Fords, and then when Ford bought Mazda, he owned just about every type of RX-7 product that Mazda had.
Well,
And,
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to drive them?
Yeah, maybe a little bit later. No, even a little bit later. But now he was always a car enthusiast, and I don't know. I've always liked them, but I don't think I'd ever been to an official car show until I met you at Cars and Coffee that Saturday morning when I was picking up sausage biscuits. It was just one of those things where I don't know. You know when you're starting off in life and you're not making. You always appreciate other people's cars, but in your head, you got a 1 or 2 car garage, and you never think about, well, I'm going to just put one of those in my garage because that's just not a feasible thing to do. But when you're around these groups of people either own one car, one collector car, or they own 6. That's what I've learned. It's once you get into this community, it's definitely a wormhole. But I just. No, now it involves my entire life. I mean, between I spend about 2 or 3 hours a day on social media with driving with Melissa and Bourbon Beer and Bring a Trailer and some of the other pages we've got, and then we do 2 or 3 car activities a week, all the time, and it's not work because I would do it for free. It's just nice to get paid for it every once in a while. But I just love a lot of my business associates. I own a heating and air conditioning company in town and do a lot of new construction. And a lot of my business associates, they're all car guys. It just we have like Curt was saying, the community's large, and I think it's like one of the coolest, tightest bunch of people. And we're doing a drive on. I put together a drive last Saturday, and we got another drive coming up this Friday, and it's just something, whenever I'm doing a car bet, I'm thinking about the next couple of car bets that we've got. You plan your whole life around it, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Would you? No. I would know. You get with the economy the way it is. The YouTubers 3 months ago were saying now's the time to sell the whole fleet off because it's at the top dollar. You'll never get more money for your cars, and
I just sold my Blazer for top dollar.
Yeah, well, but I mean, you see them, but they're liquidating their collections, and I'm like, what? Well, then I'll just go buy another one, and I'll pay top dollar for it. So that doesn't make any sense. But no, it consumes me, I guess. It's like you're the same way, and you're the same way. Yeah. If I'm sitting around, I'm going to open my iPad and jump over to YouTube and push car, and watch car stuff. I love it. I'm so happy that this is how our life turned out. And it's been very good for us personally and professionally, but
it's amazing the friendships that come out of cars.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't think and nice people. They're not any jerks.
Yeah, I think people when I remember when you would see a Lamborghini or a Ferrari drive down the road. And you would look at it and say, and then
okay, those are jerks.
Well,
no, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the BMW guys. But you would look at it, and everybody knows the retail value of a car.
Email James Smith.
Yeah. But they'll say that there's a $300,000 car. That guy must be rich. Blah blah blah. But we bought an Acura NSX with the YouTube channel 3 years ago for $30,000.
Yep.
And we had a ball with that car, and that was a supercar.
Yeah.
And we did some work on it, and flipped it, made a couple bucks on it. But
I still miss that car.
I do. We're going to buy another one. But cars are accessible, and that's what, if I had to put a message out there to anybody out there, is that those cars are your dreams. There's cars out there to be had all day long they're easy to get. It just you take care of them the way you should, and you drive them the amount that you should drive them, and learn to work on them a little bit. And anybody can have a collector car, and anybody can be a car guy or a car girl.
That's true. Very true.
Speaking of that, our wives are car girls, so we're lucky.
Yeah, well.
Well, there you go. That helps. That helps definitely.
Oh yeah.
This right here only happened because I was with a non-car person and she got tired of hearing me talk about it.
Go find somebody else.
So that's the only reason. That's the only reason we're here, is because somebody got tired of hearing me talk my bullshit about cars.
Our wives are across the street eating cheese and crackers and drinking wine right now. I'm pretty sure cars aren't a conversation.
Yeah, probably not.
No, probably not. Probably not.
I don't know if we've said it officially, but yeah, I met Curt at Cars and Coffee. I lived in Franklin. He lived in Brentwood here in the Nashville area. And then during COVID, I moved out to Eagleville just because of the property situation. And then he bought the house directly across the street from me. And so he's sitting on 10 acres, and he's going to have a big garage situation. And there are more car people that are kind of moving out this way. But we're hoping that the proximity will help us facilitate getting some content out there and getting back into what the core of what Full Octane Garage was when we started, which is two guys out there doing videos and doing car reviews. That's what we like to do.
I imagine you won't have any problem with that, especially with the facilities that Curt, you're working on building, and James, what you already have, and the established following that Driving with Melissa already has, your YouTube page already has. I don't foresee that being a problem at all, honestly. One thing I do foresee being a problem is I have to ask you guys. I just have to. I have to throw it out there. This whole EV push. I have got to get both of your opinions on it. So hit me with it. The EV push.
So probably 3 years ago, I had a Corvette Z06, and you're going to laugh, but I had a Toyota Prius.
Oh, Lord. All right, go ahead.
And I was like, well, crap. Yeah, and honestly, the only reason I had the Prius because I was going to an office, and we bought it for the HOV pass.
Okay, yeah.
It wasn't for the greenery and, being, 50 miles a gallon. I just wanted to be in the HOV lane and not get a ticket. So they did away with that. They took that privilege away from EVs. And so Debbie and I thought, well, how do we combine these two cars into something that's kind of cool, fast, fun to drive?
Right.
And so we went and looked at Tesla Model S's, and we were going to trade the trade the Corvette Z06 and the Prius if they were going to work the right number. So I put money down on it, and they let me take one home overnight.
So P90D with ludicrous
mode. Yeah. And
okay, that's the one you want.
So I'm cruising around in this thing, and I'm like, I called James up to try to figure out where he's at, and he's eating at Sperry's Steakhouse, just finishing his bananas Foster. And I said, dude, come out here, check this thing out. I got something to show you. And so Debbie and him traded places, and he came out, and we proceeded to take that Tesla and do very quick stop and go launches on I-65 to see how fast we could catch up to 18-wheelers. And
that's safe.
Yeah. and James about lost his bananas Foster.
I'd go home, go to bed. That made me sick. Yeah.
It is the most insane feeling driving the 0 to 60. It's like you're launching out of those roller coasters at Universal Studios.
Right.
And so it's an incredible feeling. You can get really wrapped up in the feel of that power, and you feel so secure and sure-footed with that power. It's not like you're burning rubber to get that speed. I mean, this is 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. And I went home. I put it in the garage. I sat there. The next day, they gave me my trade values, which were kind of crappy. And then I also got to thinking the car I wanted was $117,000.
Yikes.
And I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of car I could buy for 117,000. And then the secondary thing, and Debbie really brought this up. You know, when I get a Windows laptop, it's good for 3 to 5 years from a technology standpoint.
Right.
You know, not only are my batteries potentially limited to 8 years or 10 years, but now what's going to happen to the computer in that car? They're not going to upgrade that computer. It's going to be a throwaway car at some point. And so we got to thinking of the payback periods. And so we gave up on that. Fast forward to pricing, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. And, you know, we have a diesel Porsche Cayenne. And I just bought, at that point, I bought a brand new diesel half-ton GMC truck, one of the new 6-cylinders.
Right.
And then diesel prices immediately shot up. I time this stuff perfectly every time. I buy a Prius, gas prices go down.
Right.
I sell the Prius, gas prices go up. Buy a diesel, diesel prices go up. So you know, just follow me and you'll be able to get the right car at the wrong time. So anyways, we got this, the diesels, and a friend of mine bought the Audi e-tron SUV, which is basically the Porsche Cayenne version.
Right.
And he raves about this thing, but he also raves about it because he's got a full solar house. He's got a Tesla panel. And he gets free electric. So, and he's retired. So, you know of him. I won't tell you who he is, but anyways, so he convinced me to look at those, and I started looking at them. They're $70,000 or something like that. Not horrible price wise,
right?
But still, I got to thinking, you know, what's the payback period? How much fuel could I buy? I love the diesel Cayenne because this would have been a replacement for the diesel Cayenne. And you only got a 240-mile range on the model we were looking at. Yeah. I still get that range anxiety no matter how much I probably will never need to drive 240, 300 miles in a day. There's that one day I'm going to think I'm going to need to, and it's going to drive me nuts. So I struggle until we get a 500-mile range and the price points still come down.
Yeah. You know, with Lucid now being a thing, you can get 520 miles of range, but you're going to pay $130,000 for this car.
Yeah.
How many people how much of the general population can ultimately afford that? Yeah. Not very many, honestly. It's a good looking vehicle. It performs well. I actually think it looks better than the Teslas inside and out.
Yeah.
And they perform really well. I think they have 1,000 horsepower. But like I said,
there's two things people don't talk about, and they don't talk about the drain on the power grid.
Right.
And here's a clear example. When if they make, James has a fleet of how many trucks?
42.
So if he is forced to go electric on his fleet of service trucks, where are they going to charge them? Where are they going to get enough power to charge 42 trucks overnight? And are they going to have enough range through the day to do 42 trucks?
Right.
The second thing that we got going on, we'll come back to that, is how much it does to the environment making the batteries.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, it's just nobody's talking about this stuff, and I don't get why nobody's talking about this.
I've talked about both of those points multiple times on this show, and I know it annoys people when I bring up EVs, but you hit the nail on the head on both of those. You know, the range anxiety, the infrastructure cannot support millions of EVs by 2025. The industry as a whole by 2050. It just can't. And, you know, Biden's passing all these stupid infrastructure bills, you know, $9 billion for charging stations. Okay, that's great. Still not going to be able to support what they want all these automotive manufacturers to build.
Well, James thought it would be neat to get solar in his house. What was your experience of?
Oh, yeah, I did.
It was ridiculous.
I looked at it. I'm kind of the off the grid guy. I kind of like the idea of putting a well in and, you know, getting the power and all that. In case, I don't know. I'm the one that buys a bunch of food and sticks it underneath the house. I'm that guy.
I like the off the grid idea. I like that idea.
Retired army is how I think. But the solar. Oh, I think to do a 65% of my house load without 230-volt appliances, which means your heat, your air conditioning, it was $105,000. There's no payback on it yet.
But they gave you great 4% interest rate on the loan.
Yeah, but
what?
I didn't do it.
$105,000.
if it were $50,000, I would have considered it because of the off the grid side of it too. But no, they're just not. And I don't know. I'll probably pursue it a little bit more. Where we live, we live in the sticks, so it's nice to have other alternatives. But yeah, me as far as the EV stuff goes, getting away from the political side and all that type of crap, I just as a car enthusiast 3 years ago, I would have said never. But I've driven the Taycan, and I've driven every Tesla, every model Tesla, including the Roadster. I'm glad that there are cars that they're moving in the direction where even like the what was that thing we just saw, the Hummer?
Oh yeah,
I thought the Hummer was badass.
Yeah, I saw you guys did a review of the Hummer. I got to watch that video.
Yeah, it was like just the first look, but no, I'm a fan of that stuff. I think there's a place for it. Will I have an electric car in the garage eventually? Probably. I think Porsche and Audi have done an excellent job. And Jag, the I-Pace was one of the first cars out 4 or 5 years ago that we drove we did a review on their prototype, and they've done a really good job of translating a regular car into an electric car, whereas Tesla, in my opinion, just created an electric car and there's no association with regular cars. So you can slide right into the I-Pace or the Taycan and kind of be at home. It drives like a regular Porsche.
I tell you, I like the
there.
looks of if we're going to do Porsche versus Audi, I like the Audi e-tron sedan look better than the Taycan. Even though it's a similar car, it's just wide, it's fat, it's.
Yeah, I'll probably do it. To answer your question, though, at the end of the day, I would have been a definitive no till just recently, but I've been exposed to enough of them, and I think the manufacturers are getting there. They're going to have to sell this stuff to people, and I think that some of the
big time.
The people that we've got Audis and Porsches now, and I think they're doing a good job of putting it out there. Will it ever replace my 600 horsepower Jags or whatnot? Nope. Still got one of those in the garage.
I would certainly hope not. Just for the pure joy of hearing the car run and just getting that
right.
I still worry about the charging technology in the house and a car catching fire.
Apparently it's getting better. I haven't really looked into the whole home charging thing in depth, but I've seen articles recently that it's getting better. It's getting cheaper. So I don't know about that. I don't know how much it'll make your electric bill go up. I don't know about any of that. I'm so far off from being in an electric vehicle personally. I don't need to worry about that. But Curt, I want to agree with you on the whole Audi versus Porsche thing. I like the e-tron and the Taycan, but I like the e-tron better. I think it's better looking.
Yeah.
I'm not a Porsche guy. I respect Porsche because I know they make a good product.
The reason my 911's in the shop right now.
The reason I don't care for the real reason I don't really care for the majority of the Porsches that I see is the people that drive them. And that's not that's not a hit against Curt at all. Curt's cool as shit. I'm just saying, and Porsche and BMW go hand in hand in that respect, in my opinion. Most people that drive Porsches, most people that drive BMWs are douchebags. Most, not all.
What Porsche did well with the 911s is it's that perfect. It could be an everyday driver, or if it's that perfect weekend car. You got room in the back seat. You got room in the front. It's very capable in inclement weather. It will keep up with the supercars if you're driving with them, or you go get groceries in it. They did a great job of making a universally well-performing car in all aspects, in my opinion.
Now tell them how we can go with Porsches.
And I 100% agree with that. Like I said, I respect that.
Oh,
Porsche has my full respect because I know they make a good performing vehicle. It's well built. I mean, they don't look a lot different than the 1950s Porsches. Obviously, it's evolved, but it's overall the same shape and all that. But I don't know. I just for the money, I'd rather have there are other vehicles I'd rather have than a Porsche.
Yeah, we
It's
were
just my
Porsche
opinion.
guys.
Yeah, I made the mistake at Cars and Coffee on a non-exotic weekend saying that there were no exotic cars out there, and the Porsche guys bit back, the GT3 RS guys and whatnot, because this is an exotic car. I said, well, it looks like all the rest of them, and we sat there at breakfast at Cars and Coffee with two other guys, and we were all kind of talking crap about it, and we said, you know what? Let's find out ourselves. We're all going to go buy cheap 911s, and we're going to find out what this Porsche thing's all about. And so, I mean, there were you and me and two.
Who's the other guy?
Alan and Dan.
Okay.
Yes. One was another English car guy, and the other guy had like a Cobra and stuff like that. But we all four, like blood oath, we're all going to go buy 911s. And so I went out and bought one
immediately.
in a week. I did it. I went and bought a 996 Cabriolet, an excellent example of one, if I have to say myself. It was absolutely beautiful, 6-speed, and I love that car. And then Curt went and bought a 997.
A silver one.
Yeah, 997. And then those two other son of bitches didn't buy shit. I don't know if I can say that on here. But
So you laid down the gauntlet, and you two are the only ones that backed it up.
I'm good at my word. But
we both bought another one since.
yeah, we both have. I've got a 911 991 4S Cabriolet that my wife drives. It's silver on red, and excellent car. I can take it and do anything with it. I was really as happy or more happy with just the base Carrera 6-speed Cabriolet that I had before. Very mechanical car. Lots of it was very good feedback through the steering wheel and all. Just a fun car to have. They're just fun cars to have. Good enthusiast cars. I think they're almost getting bigger and more.
Yeah, mine's a big car.
More driver assistance to them as you go along, and not just the core of Porsche. They are genuinely a good car. If you could have one car and you want to do it all, if you want to go rally, put it on the track, go on vacation to Florida, or go get groceries, that's probably your car. Yeah.
Well, I think Porsche is kind of starting to take a page out of Ferrari's book. They take racing technology and they fit them to their road cars. So Porsches, they've always been good, but taking that racing technology and incorporating it into the road cars is just making them that much better.
So Bob, what do you think about Ferraris?
Certain Ferraris I do very genuinely enjoy, like that new SF90 is incredibly insane. We saw one at the Nashville Grand Prix. I think that was a dealer just brought one down. I've always liked Ferrari. I've always respected Ferrari. There have been some that I was not a huge fan of, like the Ferrari California, not a huge fan. The new Roma, I don't think it's an overly attractive vehicle.
I like the 599s for a front engine.
Well, the 599s are incredible. The 812s are insane. The new
now, what's on my list is a 458 because you don't have the engine outs. You got low maintenance issues. My worry was always, God, how much is it going to cost to maintain this car? And now I've gotten to the point where I kind of think the 458, I mean, they're proven. You got 50, 60,000 mile cars out there that are doing well.
Well, the 458, it has the advantage of being the last naturally aspirated V8 car out there, that Ferrari did.
The 480, the price up. It's crazy.
The 488 it's a nice looking vehicle, but you got turbocharging, coming into play at that point. And a lot of people that are Ferrari enthusiasts, they don't agree with that.
Yeah. Well, same thing with Porsches. I mean, in 15, 16, all of their 911s went turbo.
Yeah.
If I could throw a plug out there, if you don't mind, since we talk about Ferraris, and I don't know if you're familiar with this YouTuber, but we know him super well.
Yeah.
Normal Guy Supercar. People should check his channel out. We met him back when he had 5,000 subscribers and he was doing it like we do on the side. And now he's a full-time YouTuber and he's made a business out of his channel just like we have. But the whole premise behind him is any normal person can own a supercar if they learn how to work on it. And Ferraris are his specialty, and that's his whole channel is about owning these cars and doing his own work on it. Now, like the 458, we can say, well, people will call those bulletproof, but there's a whole different definition of bulletproof for a 458 than there is for a 911. But it certainly is something that more normal people can buy on a regular income. Kind of regular income, but they can drive it, because really that's always been my fear with the
upper part of a normal income.
Yeah. Right. That's always been the fear. A lot of people can get into these cars, but the problem is they can barely get into them, and then they buy them, and then they have mileage anxiety because they don't want it to depreciate. And then if something goes wrong, on a like if you've got a Maserati or something like that, or what was the other big one, a Bentley. You get an air ride suspension issue, or McLaren. Yeah, there's every repair is a $25,000 repair. But the Ferraris, especially like the 458, it's a lot more mechanical car, and there's a lot of things that an individual can do if they just have the guts to go and pull the bottom panel off of it. But yeah, Dan has come through. He lives in Austin, Texas, and he part of his business is he buys cars or helps people buy exotic cars. And then if they're on the eastern side of the United States, he'll drive through and he'll stay at our place in Nashville. And we'll stick his car in our garage and we'll go hang out. But I think that's a really good channel for people to watch to see what a regular experience. Not everybody makes $1 million a year, and it's just but people that don't can still have cool cars.
What did you say his YouTube channel was?
Normal Guys Supercar.
Normal Guys Supercar.
Yeah.
And speaking of mileage anxiety, so I'll be in a new dilemma, and I'll be interested to hear your take on this. I will be buying a 2003 Corvette Z06 from a good friend of mine.
Okay.
With 9,000 original miles.
Holy shit. Okay.
Do you drive it, or do you keep it as an investment?
Okay, so I've seen multiple videos on the C5 Z06s, and
the 50th anniversary edition.
That's probably its only real selling point, minus the engine, because that was the first year. that was the first year for the 405 horsepower engine.
No. 02 was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
01 had 385, 02 had 405, all the way through.
Okay, I thought it went to 405 and 03. All right, my mistake. But anyway,
Corvette guy.
Besides it being 50th anniversary, 405 horsepower, dedicated 6-speed, and a notchback, not much else is really going to sell that car, minus the 9,000 miles. The interior is shit.
Yeah.
It was just very poorly put together. I hate to say that because I love a Corvette. I really, really do. The car was just very, very poorly built on the inside. A lot of plastic. The panel gaps were shit. Car performed great. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
What do they want?
Don't hold back. Tell us what you really think about this Corvette.
Like I said, I hate to say that. I actually looked at. I wanted to get one of those Z06s myself, but with the way the market is, I couldn't afford it. Especially one with 9,000 miles, I'm sure. All right, let me ask you this: what do they want for the car?
$35,000.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't be able to buy that, even if I wanted to. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't be able to.
The market value on that car is about, believe it or not, $45,000.
45.
That's the market value. I'm getting a good friend deal.
When's this video come out?
My goodness.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's.
But here's the deal. This has more sentimental value to me, and here's why. In 2002, my wife did a very, very cool thing.
Okay.
My birthday's the day before Christmas.
Oh, that sucks for you.
It does. And so to make up the suckingness, that's when stock options were going good. We both were making a decent amount of money. Dot-com boom. She got one of my friends to go pick out a brand new yellow Corvette Z06 and ordered it for me. And when I opened it up Christmas morning, I had the order form, I had a blank key, and it was just a really cool thing. It came in 6 weeks. We went up to Kerbeck in New Jersey. We were living up in DC area, and we made a road trip back home. And after the car got about 3,000 miles on it, and I also had a 2000 Corvette convertible at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we got a job assignment to move to Boca Raton, Florida. And I had one garage space to keep the cars. So I'm like, okay, I guess I should keep the convertible. We live in Florida. And so I sold the Z06 with 3,000 miles on it. And I have never lived that down from my wife.
Yeah, probably not. I'd imagine.
So this is the replacement. This is the identical car 1 year newer. And this is kind of the sentimental thing, reason I'm getting it. And it's from a really good friend of mine.
Okay. I mean, that actually.
But I plan on driving it, by the way. I'm going to get it clear broad, and I'm going to devalue it and put some miles on it. It is not going to sit in the garage and just be a garage toy.
I would expect it not to.
Yeah.
I would expect it not to. But I mean, that makes perfect sense. You're not too far off from your original car. Like you said, a year newer, 6,000 more miles. It's an identical car.
Identical. So, yep.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you one bit for that.
Plus, I won't get hurt too much on the value. I think they're always going to be valuable because they're a great track car. A lot of people buy track cars, and actually because this one's unmolested, it hasn't had any modifications. That's
like I said. I know I was a little bit of a negative Nancy with the interior and all that.
Oh no, they are shit. I mean, that's it.
The interior was just all parts bin stuff, and it was just bad. But overall, the car is for what it is. It's incredible. It is
a raw feeling car to drive.
Yeah, it was very inexpensive. You know, it made good power. It had a fantastic 6-speed. I've driven those cars. They're very good.
Yep, and I actually fit in it. So
I fit in those too, actually. Yeah. Corvettes I've never really had a problem fitting in, but it's just like over time I will get very uncomfortable.
And even if you drive it and depreciate it, it's still going to do better than your 401k right now.
Yeah.
Probably not wrong, unfortunately. Now I looked at an 06. I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, and the interior of those is even worse in my opinion.
Oh, it is, yeah. And then you got sodium valve issues, sodium filled valves, which are a problem.
I just couldn't get past the interior. Like
I had a 07 for a while, and
they went from C5 to C6 in 05. Was the first year for the C6, and I'm sorry. You can't have a car that costs $60,000 and have the same steering wheel as a Cavalier. You just can't. And then, you know, they upgraded it, quote unquote, to a Malibu steering wheel. So it wasn't as bad, but it was still pretty bad. But just the center stack, and it was just the most basic asshole interior I've ever seen in a good car. And then when they went to the C7, I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. It's a completely new interior, a completely new vehicle, and it was just night and day difference between 6 to 7.
The C7 is still, even the C8. I don't know if it's. I have no idea what's going on. You saw that yesterday about the Z06s that they quit taking allocations yesterday for C8s for the 2023 model year. But the C7 is still a great car.
Absolutely.
You know, the C8, you know, you got all the issues that are going on with mid-engine and the availability and stuff like that. I think the C7, you get a C7 06 or like Curt's Grand Sport, that's one of the best buys out there for the money right now. That car is a super car in every, in just about everything except for maybe quantity. But it'll do anything that anybody wants that car to do.
And talk about value on the one I got's the last year for the front engine, last year for the manual transmission. And the values have gone up like 10 grand since I bought the car a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I looked at C7s when I was in the market. Before I bought the Camaro, I was looking at C7s, and it was just so far out of my price range, even for a 14, which I would never buy because it's the first year, because that's a terrible fucking decision.
Believe it or not, I had a 14.
Yep.
And it was one of the better cars. It had the better automatic transmission, to be honest, because it still had the 6-speed transmission. Didn't have the 8-speed issues for the automatics.
Yeah.
Almost every.
I don't know. I've just always been told never buy the first year of a generation of a vehicle, because they haven't.
I normally don't. They
haven't worked out all the quirks and blah blah blah. And I can attest to that right now, because the 2023 Lyric, don't buy one. That's what we're getting ready to launch that and release them to the public now. And I don't no. Wait. If you're in the market, just wait.
So what are you drinking, Bob?
That's that Woodford wheat.
Oh, the wheat.
The weeded. Yeah, the weeded whiskey. I actually forgot. I forgot to do that to let everybody know what we were drinking. I forgot to do that, but whatever, it's fine. We're doing the thing right here, so it's fine. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen the Lyric. What we're building in Spring Hill right now.
Have not.
Hang on, let me pull it up real quick. It's actually for an SUV being electric, it's not a bad looking vehicle.
So is there a platform with anything like a Blazer or anything like that?
It's on the same platform as the Blazer. Well, the Blazer EV that's coming up, they're going to share the same platform.
I still struggle with all these car makers rebranding good names to electric vehicles.
Oh my God!
Hashtag Mustang.
Preaching to the choir, my friend. Preaching to the choir.
Let's take a sports car and turn it into an electric SUV.
All right. This is the Lyric.
Cool.
That's a cat. That looks like it's a Cadillac.
Yeah, this is the Cadillac Lyric.
That's good looking.
That is good looking.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, this is what we're ramping up to launch. Here's kind of a overall, like a round, full surround or whatever.
What ballpark price on those?
They're going to start at 60.
All right, I dig that. It's like a crossover.
Yeah. It's a 2-row crossover SUV, fully electric. I think the range is starting at 300 miles.
Oh,
I think the initial release is going to be rear-wheel drive. I can't remember the power number that they said, but it's going to make decent power. And then later they're going to have an all-wheel drive version with even more, I think 600 horsepower maybe.
See, there are times like this I can be bamboozled by looks.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I like that car. It's got 18 or 20-inch wheels on it, looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you had that, what Nissan was that?
FX. FX45. Yeah,
had the big old wheels on it.
Yeah.
Here's kind of a
cool.
profile and a rear. Yeah, it's a really nice looking vehicle. I've heard mixed reviews on the interior. The interior looks good, but I've heard it's not overly comfortable. Let me try to find an interior shot of it here.
Ironically, last night I spent an hour looking at used CTSV wagons.
Don't even get me started, bro.
I happened across a
oh my God,
Doug DeMuro car review, and he took me down the rabbit hole. Yes.
All right, there's the Lyric interior.
Yeah.
This isn't production interior. The steering wheel will be a little bit different. That screen is actually going to be in production.
That screen, wow! That screen looks like it's 3 feet wide.
Oh, it's incredible. The screen. I've seen it up close and in person. Let me see. That's not a good picture of it.
I like it.
Okay, that's more. No, that's not right. That's not right. No. I think that's the car that they're coming out with soon. Oh my God. Have you heard about the Cadillac car that's going to be electric? The Celestiq?
No.
It's going to cost $300,000.
Oh, it's the everyday man's car.
Right. It looks pretty much like the Lyric, just shorter, and it's going to cost $300,000, like top of the line.
Man.
Okay, I can't find a good picture of the interior, but you get the gist. Oh, then never mind. There it is. This is it right here. There you go. That's the production. That's what's going to come to the market.
I'm a
the
fan.
interior.
When did they launch?
Honestly, I'm not 100% sure. I think we're getting ready now. I mean, we're building them now. These are all pre-production, though. I think they wanted them to be at dealerships by fall, but we're just so far behind on them, and we haven't been able to get it done. So I don't really know.
Gotcha.
Are chips still a thing with these vehicles too?
I think chips are a thing. They're just not as much of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We're running into other parts issues now. Like powertrain's going to be down next week for parts issues. So I don't know what the part issue is.
Yeah, I bought you've got a 22, right?
21. You got a 22.
Yeah, I bought a 22 Denali, GMC 1500 Denali.
I don't
back
blame
in
you on
March.
I don't blame you on that one bit.
Huh?
I don't blame you for that. That's a nice truck.
Well, yeah, I mean, I actually traded a 19. I think between the two of us and my other business partner, we've had 8 in the last.
And
5
how many
years.
engines have you lost?
One, just one.
No,
The transmission.
Roger lost an engine.
Oh gosh! Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to dig into. Well, we had a pair. I bought 2 2019 GMC Denalis at the same time. One for me, and one for my business partner. And he lost his engine at 30,000 miles, and I lost mine at 50,000 miles.
Valve train failure in the 8 to 4.
So they made me a deal I couldn't refuse on the 22, but the 22 was missing about 7 or 8 options on it because they didn't have chips. So
yeah.
So the overhead display, the heated rear seats, just a bunch of stuff like that didn't come with it, and they kind of give you an IOU for the chips. So
they've been talking about retrofitting all this stupid shit because of the chips, and I'm like, really?
Yeah, I bought a 21, and they just gave me a very minuscule discount for not having rear heated seats and stuff. But they did not offer to put chips in for me. The only chip I wish I hadn't got was the damn auto shutoff.
That's right. I don't have the chip for the auto shutoff, so I don't have that.
That auto start stop is so annoying.
Yes,
I hate that shit.
Yeah. You have to turn that off every
time I start the truck, I got to turn it off.
Yeah, Porsches, it's always off. Right? If you turn Porsche off, it's always
off. Always off.
Yeah, my Cadillac. I had an ATS Cadillac, and it had that auto start stop. I had to turn it off every time I got in the car. Like, this is annoying. My Camaro didn't have it.
With GM vehicles is you have a recirculate air button.
Yeah.
And it's never 100% recirculate.
That's your most annoying.
That is the most annoying thing. Because you'll drive through Skunkville, down the road, and you'll want to be in recirculate. It always is not in recirculate.
Drive through a construction zone with all the dust.
It's like GM engineers think that they're smarter than you because if they keep it and don't give you a total recirculate, then they'll have less complaints about your glass fogging up because you don't know how to set it.
Are you guys building black wings where you're at?
We don't do the Blackwing of any of our Cadillacs. Apparently they're doing a V series, air quotes, of the Lyric. I don't know. I don't have any idea what the difference is. I don't think it's much in the way of performance. But that's not coming until at least 2024. But no, we don't do any kind of Blackwing version.
Yeah. We've got a rally buddy that just bought the big CT5 V Blackwing, and he wants to go head-to-head with the Project 8 so bad it hurts. If you look at them side by side, all the specs are super close. It's got me a little bit on horsepower. I'm a little ahead on the weight, a little below on the weight, but it'd make a good head-to-head. That's a sensational car.
But he immediately got a picture.
Oh yeah,
it's an incredible car. I haven't seen one. I haven't seen one in person up close. But I've read all about it, and I like the way it looks.
He's a big
like-
guy, and he fits in it.
Yeah, he's like 6'4" or 6'5". Yep.
I'm trying to find. I posted an article on the Celestique in the High Octane group on Facebook. I'm trying to find it because I couldn't find a decent picture on Google for some dumbass reason. But that was a little while ago, so I'm scrolling. So if I'm not overly paying attention, that's what I'm doing. But I'm trying to do both.
You just carry on. We're not on a podcast.
Yeah, you're not
Right. Well, I like to think I can multitask fairly well. Well, okay. All right. Hang on. I got another Cadillac for you guys. Check this shit out. Cadillac's getting back into racing. And look at this. Let me see what you guys think about this.
By the Aston Martin dealership.
How you like that?
Oh, look at that. That's sensational. Is that a real car?
Absolutely. That is what they are bringing to the racetrack.
Where's Supercar Blondie? She usually shows these cars.
Yeah, that's
actually, I think she might have done this car. If I'm not mistaken. I don't really care for her.
Be careful by saying she done that car.
Yeah.
Well, she's reviewed it. Sorry.
She definitely get her hands on the cars early. That's a hell of a wing on there.
Well, being loaded the way they are, they should review everything under the sun.
That's cool.
Which I'm not an overly huge fan of her, but
that looks like a mono cockpit car. Is it a single seat?
I don't know.
It's a race car. Yeah. So it's not a production car. Yeah, it's all right.
No, I highly doubt this will ever make production.
Yeah, I could listen to her talk a lot, but I don't know the rest of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing because I'm still gonna look for that Cadillac because I want you guys to see that thing. It's really nice. Here it is, right here. She reviewed it. Here it is. This is her review. Well, this is her husband. This is her husband reviewing the Celestique. The audio won't come through, but it's fine because you don't need to hear him.
I like the silver on red.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what happened?
There it is.
Oh, there you go. This is pre-production. Not all of this will make it to the road, obviously, but this is the car overall.
God, what's that look like? It resembles the
Tesla pickup.
Isuzu Impulse.
Oh wow, there's a flashback.
Oh,
was that the Charger?
That's a beer cooler.
Yeah, that's the charge point.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The car itself, it looks really, really good. I like the overall shape and everything. I don't know how they justify a $300,000 cost.
Yeah, they're going head to head with Bentley and Rolls Royce at that
100%.
Yeah.
But again, I just don't see where they justify it.
Okay, it's badass. That looks cool. That looks good.
It does. It looks very, very good. I like that. It's kind of like wagony, fastbacky, kind of like in the rear, obviously. And it looks a lot like the Lyric in the front.
I'll wait 2 years and buy it for 80.
Probably. When they realize that they can't get 300 grand for them.
Hey Bob, here's a question for you. We always struggle with this. What makes a supercar or exotic car a supercar or exotic car?
That's a really good question, actually. I honestly, I think that's a lot of it's subjective, because a lot of people consider the C7 Z06 a supercar. I don't know that I agree with that. It's a very, very, very good car.
But where you park?
What's that? Oh,
it's a really, really, really good car. It's fast. It performs. It's very good looking. It's cheap. Of all the other supercars on the market, yeah, it could.
So Porsche GT3.
No, I don't consider that a supercar.
Audi R8.
Supercar.
No.
Got it? Nope.
Supercars, mid-engine.
I don't think so.
This is the subjective part
Yeah.
we're talking about. You got
I just
price, scarcity, performance, and appearance. Basically, those are the four things that I would rate that under, and it's gotta qualify pretty much. Like is the Project 8? That's a $200,000 car. It's one of the rarest cars in the world. It's one of the fastest cars in the world, but it's a 4-door. Is it a supercar?
the Project 8, the XE Project 8 that you got. It's right on the line. I would say, but probably yeah. Performance wise, for sure. I mean, that's probably a supercar. All right. So okay. So you asked about the R8. You consider that a supercar?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay. All right. That's mixed reviews. Okay. Do you consider the C8 a supercar?
No.
No, because of
Okay.
production quantity.
Yeah,
And probably price.
but you said mid-engine. You said
It's got to hit all the boxes, in my opinion. You can't just because there's a lot of fast cars out there.
I think the Z06 will be a supercar.
I believe I agree 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that.
Because I mean, you can really a C8 has a starting price of $65,000. I know you can't
55.
55.
Retail started 55 grand.
Right. So I mean, yes, it has the performance. I think it's got the look. It is mid-engine, but I think that the production quantity and the price kind of disqualify.
Okay, that makes sense.
The R8's mid-engine. It's almost $200,000. It's got supercar performance, supercar looks. They only made 500 last year.
Yeah, but overall they made a lot.
Because they make it every year.
It doesn't matter. You can't make a supercar 1 year only.
The R8 has been around for quite a while. What did they?
But then
start
it goes
making
back to also the Lamborghini, Gallardo. It's the same platform.
Yeah, because I would call that a supercar, wouldn't you?
I call it an exotic. I don't know if I call it a supercar.
It's a Lamborghini.
Well, ultimately, they're all Volkswagens. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm buying the M220 tomorrow.
I enjoy the R8 very thoroughly, but I will say this, James. I will say this between the R8 and the Maserati, I like the Maserati better.
I do too.
I really do.
I think it's Maserati's first supercar in many years. It starts about $280,000. I think realistically it's going to be about $325,000. It's got about the same performance as an R8 performance.
Oh,
they are going to
car.
They start at 210.
Oh no! Yeah, well, I think I just saw something the other day. It was 225. They're in one on. There's the cheapest one on Car Gurus right now is 289.
Well, I don't doubt that with the way the market is.
Yeah,
But MSRP, the original MSRP of a 22 is 210. So,
but it's like a Ferrari or anything else like that. You won't find one without $50,000 worth of options on it.
Right.
But anyways, going back to it though, it is beautiful, and it's reminiscent of that classic, that supercar they made 15 years ago. I don't MC whatever the heck that number was, but just when you see it in person, that car is phenomenal. But it has a little bit of GT characteristics in that, like it didn't come with the wing because it's got a ground force, and the seats in it are not like super hard carbon fiber buckets. The seats are more GT like in it. So it's kind of a little bit more of a comfortable car. Doesn't it kind of have a GT flair to it?
No, it looks good.
Yeah, it's got storage in the front and the rear. I like it.
Is that a
different
mid-engine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely mid-engine. It's a twin turbo 3-liter V6 that makes 620 horsepower, which is crazy.
I just struggle with V6s. God.
No, I know. I don't like that either. I just read that the new C63 has a 4-cylinder with a hybrid technology. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
It's like the new Ford GT.
Ford GT,
you
yeah.
know? 6-cylinder.
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
Yeah.
That's technology. But
I
I like it.
I get the technology part of
Yeah.
it, but there's nothing like the sound of a V8, a V10, a V12. There's just nothing like it. And I'm not dogging the way that the Ford GT sounds. For a V6, it sounds freaking phenomenal.
Yeah.
But there's just nothing like it.
Now, what's the race car that's over at Carlock right now?
It's an F1 car. I don't know. It's an Aston Martin.
Aston Martin. Have you seen that the Aston Martin over at Carlock, the race car they got in for a couple days?
It's a shell.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah, there's no engine in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
It looked badass in the pictures, but
I'd consider. What about the Evora GT? Have you ever looked at those?
I like the Evora actually.
Yeah.
It didn't get a lot of praise. Like I've seen a few on the road, but I think it's a better car than a lot of people give it credit for.
I drove one today. I really enjoyed driving it. It's a 6 speed.
I work with a guy that has one, and he seems to really enjoy it. Is it the 430 horsepower version?
Yeah, 417, I think, is what he said it came with.
Okay.
But I think I'm used to driving a lot of big V8s because it felt a little underpowered, but it's a very light car. But just like the seating position, it's got a little flat bottom steering wheel, and the shifter is so short. It's just dunk, 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 dunk. It's just a super cool driving experience. It's a lot of fun. I don't think if I were to take that car and run with some of the big cars that we do rallies with, I'm not sure I would keep up to the speed limit that we drive on the rallies. But
you never drive the speed limit anyway, so
I don't know. Well, I don't know that I could drive one.
I think it's a good rally car, generally speaking, because it's got back seats, which I didn't know up till today. So you can put crushable bags back there.
That's about it.
It's something you can stack some miles on. It's not a $200,000 or $300,000 car. It's a $100,000 car.
Right.
And I think it's mileage sensitive.
So is it still basically a Toyota drivetrain?
No, it's a 3-liter size engine, 3.5 or something like that.
It's like the Elise is a Toyota drivetrain, Camry engine, basically.
That's not a 4-cylinder. It's a 6.
All right, Lotus Evora GT. It has a 3.5 V6, 416 horsepower, manual rear-wheel drive, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
It felt like the torque was low to me on that car.
317 Newton meters of torque. So, yeah, the torque's low.
It did. Yeah, that's where you didn't feel the pull coming out of curves and stuff like that. But
torque's pretty low.
And I thought the RPMs, I think the red line on 6,500, which seems low.
Yeah.
Doesn't it for a car like that? Maybe because it's supercharged.
Yeah, my 06.
I want to say that 3.5's out of a Toyota.
I think so.
Yep.
So
excellent.
That red line actually makes sense. If Lotus would actually engineer their own engine, that might be a little bit different. All right, supercharged 3.5. It doesn't say on here, but I think that is a Toyota V6.
Yeah.
I would recommend it. I'll probably do a review on that. Go back and do a review on the car. And I would knock around, not as an R8 replacement, but as an
E-type replacement.
Oh, I offered that. I actually did offer. I said, you guys can come pick up my V12 72 E-type tomorrow and just leave that Evora sitting there. We'll just call it even. Yeah.
I don't. Is that an even trade? I don't think so.
You can always tell when his E-type
leaves the neighborhood.
Yeah,
I
love a V12 E-type. That's a beautiful vehicle.
No, I bought that 5 years ago. I think I paid $9,000 for it. It was silver on red, and in 5 years I put $120,000 into it, and it's one of the nicer $70,000 E-types in town, but it's not running.
It doesn't run?
It runs great, but it's bleeding its lifeblood out. I lose a quarter mile basically, so no, it's parked.
There's not enough oil in the state of Tennessee to drive it to Cars and Coffee.
No, I'd have to stop.
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's
That
beautiful.
is a shame. Yeah.
Sitting in the garage though.
Did the supermodel come by and take pictures in it yet?
No, I have a photo shoot next week. There's a supermodel and a bikini photographer that's going to do a photo shoot of it. So it's still good for something.
There you go.
Yard
I mean, I've always liked those E-types, man. They're beautiful.
When it's running, I love that car. It's great.
Yeah.
It's super cool to drive down the road. It's one of the only cars I think that even could stay in the same shadow as Curt's 60 Vet, which is one of my favorite cars of all time. But the two of them together it's a unique experience to have the two of those on the road. And when mine's running, we like to take them out together. But it's going to have an engine out, I think. So it's got some work to be done.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, you guys brought up Aston Martin earlier. What do you think about the Valkyrie?
The Valkyrie or the Valhalla?
Not the Valhalla. The Valhalla is that's odd looking. I think it's a hybrid. I don't care for the Valhalla. No, I'm talking about the Valkyrie.
Yeah, how many they make of those? 4 or 5 or something like that.
Not very many, and they're like
it's
$3
a very cool Aston Martin supercar that nobody knows anything about because there's none of them out there.
Oh no, it's a hypercar.
Yeah. I dig it. I am interested in the Valhalla. I think that will be cool to see. There's two coming. There's 2 for order that are coming into town in the next 6 months or so here at Nashville.
I don't hate the Valhalla by any means. There's not much that Aston Martin can do that I don't like, but the Valkyrie is just incredibly insane.
Wow.
Now, that being said, they're being sued. Aston Martin's being sued because I guess everyone that has ordered these things has been waiting for 3 years, and now that they're just now being delivered, and they're already having issues being recalled. I don't know. I didn't read the whole article, but I think Aston Martin is facing a $200 million lawsuit because of this thing.
Wow.
It's ridiculous.
Hey, if Tesla can have 1 million of them on order, they can have 6.
That's right.
Right. I don't know.
Is the truck going to be delivered?
I don't know what their planned production number is. I know it's low, obviously, but I just find it. I just think it. Okay, I will. I just think it's interesting that they want to charge $3 million for a car, but you can't even deliver your cars to the customer. It's just ridiculous. All right, Valhalla.
It's no difference between that and the truck. I love that.
Well, that's a good looking car.
See, I don't. Like I said, I don't hate it. It's just I don't know. The shape is just weird.
It looks like a 2-door Porsche Taycan.
Oh, Bob. It's like the MT-20, I think, with that front end, the fish lips front end and all on it. Yeah, that's a good looking car.
Definitely not the Taycan, but
those wheels are
maybe a little bit of the Maserati. Definitely not the front end. I don't know. Like I said, I don't dislike it, but I don't like it as much as the Valkyrie.
I hope it's got a front lift on it.
Oh, I'm sure it does. I mean, even the C8 Corvette has a front lift.
What are they? That's $1 million car right there, isn't it?
This one, yes, absolutely. This one has the weird McLaren style doors, and I know the Valkyrie has Gullwing style doors.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. The R8 doesn't have doors.
Come on. Okay, another quick one. This one actually just came out. I don't know if you've seen it yet. The new Pagani. Have you seen it?
No.
That's not a Hyra?
No. Utopia. It's called the Utopia.
Utopia.
Here it is right here. That's the front end of it.
Looks a little more Zonda-like.
It's called the Utopia. And yes, it's a kind of a hybrid between the Zonda and the Huayra.
Yep.
With the headlights and the the fascia and everything. The roof is weird. It's got these two goofy windows in the roof. Here, let me show you that. Look at that. That's so strange.
Weird.
It's very strange.
I kind of dig it now. That good color combo.
There's the interior, which is a work of freaking art.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They do. There's a
Love
few in
those.
town, and we get to see it kind of on a regular basis. And
I've never seen a Pagani in person. Never.
Oh.
No, there's a couple guys that bring them out regularly.
Oh, I need you guys to like be my friends. Because the most expensive car I've ever seen in person, like on the road being driven, is a Porsche 918, which was crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But I've never seen anything multiple $1 million. I've never seen anything like that.
Now, I think our last Italian Cars of Coffee, there was the high road, a pair of Chirons down there. So they bring them out for that event.
I mean, I saw a fully carbon fiber bodied Veyron at the dealership in Cool Springs.
The blue one?
No. It was like carbon fiber colored.
Right.
But it was back there at like the Rolls Royce dealership parked.
Hmm.
So I mean, I've seen multiple. I've seen $1 million vehicles, but like not on the road in the wild. So I don't know. But this thing's just weird. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, I don't like the 4 headlight thing on it.
It's very strange looking. It's like $3 million too. Like
It's got kind of a Buck Rogers look to it.
it looks like a cartoon. Looks like a cartoon car.
Yeah, it's a piece of art. That's what it
Oh,
is.
it's that I can't argue, but I don't know. I'm not a. Maybe it'll grow on me. I'm just not a huge fan of it right now. I don't know.
We'll take it. You know, Ed Bullion getting that spiker. You know, that's
All spikers are cool.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, spikers are really cool.
Spikers aren't bad. They have some design cues that are a little bit odd. I know that some of them like the steering wheel is modeled after like an airplane propeller and all that kind of stuff.
What's the other one?
Very mechanical car, which I don't hate that, but I don't know.
Ditomosa or something like that.
Ditomosa Panteras.
The Ditomosa, not the Pantera. There's a new Ditomosa.
Oh.
I've seen that actually. Yes.
That's badass. I think there was one at Amelia Island a couple years ago.
There was.
Copper-colored one.
There was. Yeah, that was pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that they are still kind of in business.
Yeah, I had gone all these years and never seen a Koenigsegg and never seen a Pagani, and then we never seen a Senna, and then we went to Monterey Car Week in 2019, and I saw 5 Sennas driving down the road together, you know, and you'd go to the Quail and there'd be 20 Koenigsegg's and 20 Paganis. It's
that's crazy.
Anybody that's looking for the ultimate car experience Car Week is the thing to do down there. It is, and they're just on the road. We've seen 3 F50s, Ferrari F50s sitting parallel parked on Ocean Drive, or the WeatherTech guy, his Ferrari, that $55 million Ferrari, he parallel parked on the road and was eating at the restaurant we were eating at. And it's just
save your money though; it's expensive.
Oh yeah, and I think
I haven't been.
Yeah, we took 4.
Where is this?
Pebble Beach, Monterey, California.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm road trip.
Yeah, no, it is the show of all shows.
Right.
Now
or something.
I've never seen like what you're talking about. I've never seen most of that. I saw a Senna at the Gumball Rally in Nashville.
Yeah.
That was Sammy's. The same guy that owns the Pagani has that. So
Okay, it might have been. I don't know.
they're on the Senna in Go Ball.
I don't know whose it was, but it was
You're talking about
crazy.
the
It was
car.
crazy to see that in person. Never seen a Pagani, never seen a Koenigsegg. You know, like you said, I've seen SVJs. I've seen an F40 in Chattanooga last year. Never seen an F50, which I think the F50 is a better looking vehicle than the F40.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LaFerrari.
Okay. The whole the what did they call those? The three.
Triad, the 918, the LaFerrari.
No, I mean like together. They there was a name for all three of them together.
The Holy Triad.
The Holy Trinity. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. The LaFerrari is. It's not the best looking one.
It was
I think
the
the 918. I think the 918 is the best looking car and actually the best performing car. The real issue I have with the LaFerrari is the name.
Yeah, actually, that Pagani, the Pagani looks a little like a P1 in the front. Four headlights, I think.
Yeah. I don't think so. No.
Don't think so.
No. The McLaren, the P1, it was very oddly shaped vehicle, and apparently it was a nightmare to drive.
Yeah, the center seat. Is that the one?
No, the P1 didn't have the center seat,
which
I really like. I really like the center.
Yeah.
No, the Speedtail had the center seat, and obviously the F1. Okay, here's the P1. I don't dislike the way the P1 looks by any means. It's just, I don't know, a little weird.
Oh,
I think it's got an active wing that's not up on that picture right now.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And then, well, I'll pull up all three of them together here. Hang on. What is it? Holy Trinity. Oh, not that. Not that. Here we are. There's all three of them together. P1, LaFerrari, 918.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the active wing is up here. So yeah. I don't hate any one of these vehicles. Let me reiterate that. The LaFerrari is a very, very good looking vehicle.
It is.
And it performed well. There's no electric only option to drive it only on electric power, which I think is kind of silly. But yeah, the only real issue I have is the name. It's just a dumb name.
But if the electric's jacked up, you can't drive that car, by the way.
Yes, it has a battery or something that has an 8 or 10 year lifespan on it, and the LaFerraris are just now hitting that window. And when that goes bad, they can't get replacements right now, and it immobilizes the car.
Yeah, it takes a year and a half to get the battery, is my understanding.
Fantastic. So you have a
what is now a
$3 million plus vehicle that you can't drive. That's fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, because one of my friends who is a car consignor called me and said, "Hey, I'm looking for a yellow LaFerrari," and I said, "Well, I don't know where a yellow one is, but I made a one." And he says, "Well, I found one, but the problem is that the battery pack was bad in it, and my client won't buy one with a bad battery in it."
How many of those did they even make?
They couldn't have made many.
Yellow, jeez.
Yeah.
Estimated at $4.5 million for a yellow one.
They make a convertible version. I saw a convertible.
Oh yeah. The La Puerta, whatever the hell they call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who knows what that is?
Incredibly expensive. Let's see. They made 500. 120 were delivered to the U.S. Doesn't break it down by color, but only 500 of them were built.
Yeah, the Aperta adds another million and a half to it, I think.
Oh, yes. Incredibly expensive.
Well, we're lucky in Nashville though that we're certainly not L.A. or Miami, but all these cars are here in town, and the people that have them here in town drive them.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of trailer queens floating around here. You see these on the road, and I think that we're fortunate in that way that these guys bring them out, and they bring them out to regular car meets for people to see.
Well, that's where I think Cars and Coffee kind of messed up, moving to the super speedway. Although it is a bigger space for them to hold more vehicles.
Well, they had no choice though. They were getting thrown out.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I did not know.
The Franklin police chief pretty much put the nail in the coffin and that they weren't going to
Okay.
allow any police to support the event. Without police, they couldn't have the event. So they were kind of hands tied.
Okay, I did not realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, them making that move to where they are now, you're probably not going to see a whole lot of these $1 million plus vehicles at the super speedway because they have to drive them. They have to drive them, 30 plus miles on the highway.
Yeah, they're coming to the Global Motorsports Cars and Coffee on second Saturday now in Cool Springs.
And then Italian car meet.
And the Italian car meet.
Yeah, the only supercar I saw at the big Cars and Coffee up there was my R8.
If you had a wing on it, if you had a wing on it, it might be a supercar.
All right, I'm buying a dead wing tomorrow.
You're talking about at the super speedway?
Huh?
Are you talking about at the super speedway?
Yeah, I was just joking, but yeah.
No. You're totally fine. Curt warned me you were a smartass. which is perfect for the show. But
we got a buddy that brings an SVJ up there, but he trailers.
Yes, I was about to say that there has been an SVJ twice that I've seen.
Yeah, he's done a couple drives with us down here on our side of town, and it's phenomenal to watch that car on the back roads.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He drives it.
I can't even imagine that car in motion. Like there was an SVJ at the Gumball from DDE. I don't know if you've heard of them, Daily Driven Exotics. Yeah, they brought that SVJ with that crazy like F1 titanium exhaust, whatever. That car was incredible.
Did you go downtown to see them in downtown Nashville?
Yeah. We went down.
Yeah, we were down there.
I saw Bob. I was going to stand on his shoulders.
No,
but
yeah. Me and two buddies went down there. It was crazy fun.
They had over 100,000 people down there for that.
I believe it.
Crazy.
I believe it.
Yeah,
that was
a good time.
Crazy fun. Yeah, a lot of cool cars. I know. Supposedly David Hasselhoff was there, which we didn't see him.
Shmee,
like that Shmee dude was there.
Yep.
DDE. There was some rapper. I can't remember his name. CeeLo Green.
Oh, is he there? Wow.
Yeah, he was there.
Did he have his Chihuahua?
I didn't even know who he was. I had to be told. I had to be told it was him.
What do you watch there today?
I don't know, but
he was on one of the music shows.
Apparently, there were some pretty big names there, involved. But it was cool to see all that stuff. I had never been to anything like that, so that was pretty cool. But I probably won't ever be involved in anything like that because I don't have the money. So that stuff's expensive.
What did it cost to do that? $40,000?
Oh yeah, the Gumball. No, I think it's
80. I think.
Yeah, it's 70 or 80.
Gumball, I think, is 75,000. I think.
Yeah,
right.
Per vehicle, not per participant, but I think it's per vehicle.
You got to be somebody to get on that list too. You can't just pay.
Oh, I imagine because they went from what? They went from Toronto to Miami, and I think the original plan. I think the original plan was to go from Toronto to Cuba.
Oh shit.
But I don't think they could. I don't remember why they didn't go to Cuba, but I think they ended up stopping in Miami.
Probably a good call. The water, probably.
Because the two guys I went with are Cuban, so they would know. But I can't remember the reason why they didn't end up in Cuba. But yeah, probably smart. But hey,
Shmee was driving a GT500, I think.
Yeah. He bought that specifically for the Gumball, apparently.
Yeah. He was doing like a world.
Must be nice.
US4.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few of his videos too.
I can't watch him. I can't do it.
He's a little bit annoying too.
Who's your go-to car YouTube channel? Besides Full Octane Garage.
Well, obviously that's number one. But I don't know really. I don't get on YouTube a ton. That Doug DeMuro dude, he does a lot of car reviews for Auto Trader.
I'm a Hoobie's Garage guy. Hoobie's Garage or VinWiki?
VinWiki, yeah.
He's all right. I don't like Supercar Blondie other than looking at her. DDEs has some interesting stuff.
I can only
My
watch
buddies,
so much.
my buddies turned me onto a few pages, but like I said, I don't get on YouTube a ton. But I'm definitely gonna check out some of your guys' stuff. Like if I get on YouTube, it's to fix things
Yeah.
typically. So I don't know. I'm not a frequent YouTuber.
Yeah, VinWiki actually kicked their channel off here in Nashville at Nashville Cars and Coffee about 4 or 5 years ago, and so they brought several cars up from Atlanta, did Cars and Coffee, and then went over to Drake's, and we ended up eating lunch with them, and I was about to say we had no idea who they were, but they weren't anybody at that point in time. Yeah, we actually got an interview on Ed with him describing what VinWiki was going to be, and they started it that day. Now that was pretty good. He had a green Murcielago, I think, down there, and there was a Tavares maybe it wasn't Tavares, it was somebody else.
No, it was his
That guy with
the Chinese guy.
he had a white R8 with a red stripe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A supercar.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, we met most of them at one time or another, just through a lot of the Concords or whatnot.
We haven't been invited to their channel though.
No, nobody's done that yet. Yeah.
And Bob, this is our first podcast.
Well, I'm honored. I'm honored to have you guys on here.
Yep.
It was fun.
I know you had asked me a while back, and the move and my new hip and all that stuff, and it just got in the way. But no, we're glad it finally worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it was very short notice, and I was actually pretty surprised that you said yes almost immediately, because I knew that you wanted to come on, but like I asked you Monday, and it's Wednesday, so I was just kind of surprised, pleasantly, obviously.
Hey, don't tell everybody we have nothing to do. We have no social life. Come on.
No. We all know you're both very busy, and like I said, I'm even more appreciative for you guys to come on. Being as busy as you are.
Rescheduled the Stride Man for next week to make that whole happen. But you're always welcome to come out to the garages. Curt's is actually closed in now.
I'd absolutely love to come out and check you guys out for real. I'd love to see all your cars and
I would
sit
love
down.
to see my cars right now too.
I'd love to see them.
They're all
Absolutely.
screwed out with friends' houses, and I just want to see them in one place.
Hey, when you get a chance, check out Bourbon Beer and Bring a Trailer on Instagram.
I actually have it pulled up right now, and
Right.
we'll check.
That's our
look
car
at that.
event. We do, because you're a bourbon guy.
Yep.
Oh, well, whatever, you Manhattan guy or whatever. But yeah, we do a car event. We'll get sometimes 30 people in the front yard when we're just doing it at my place before Curt moved in. But I think we can probably get 50 to 100 people out here for that event.
And Global's actually offered us their place to use.
Yeah, I mean, you just let me know when it is. I'll come out.
Yeah, scroll down a little bit farther. There's actually a picture of our front yard with all the cars. And there it is. You're right on it, actually.
No, continue.
It's right underneath.
I am me. What are you doing? Oh, okay. I guess I had to log me in. I never get on Instagram on my computer.
Right there. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm pointing at it like you're sitting here. But yeah, if you go up a couple, it's the one with the clouds in it.
Oh, here it is.
Right there. Yeah. But that's
yeah.
See, there's that purple Aston Martin on the right next to the turbo.
Yeah.
With Curt's DB7 that used to be Nicolas Cage's car.
Oh, that's freaking awesome.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. But
that's cool. That's super cool.
We'll fill that. I've filled the front yard out there. It's just a bunch. It's like women's bunko for guys, but the wives are invited too. We hang out. We watch Bring a Trailer on the. We do it when there's a car locally that's coming or going on Bring a Trailer generally.
Yeah, man. You let me know. I'll come out. I'm the most down person you'll ever meet when it comes to anything
My
cars.
old garage there. The checkerboard floor was my old garage.
Cars and bourbon, I'm always going to be down. Like most certainly.
There's the auction right there where we bought the.
Oh, scroll up.
Yeah, just one.
Oh, this one right here.
Right. Yeah, that one with the arrow and that one right there. Yeah, that's if you look far enough I think the XKR SGT's in one of those pictures actually.
That's
That was
super
good.
cool, man.
Yep.
Super cool. This one you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay.
It's probably in there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, man. Like I said, you let me know. I'll come out. I'll hang out. You know, we can have a drink, maybe smoke a cigar. I'm good.
Sounds good.
But gentlemen, that's gonna bring it to a close. This is 2 hours, so I don't want to keep you from anything. You know, your wives, they're probably like,
They've been drinking
what
2 hours.
what the hell are they doing?
Now we need food.
But anyway, I very much appreciate you guys coming on. It was very fun. It was awesome getting to talk to you guys, getting your stories and your experiences and everything. Super cool.
Cool deal. Well, thanks for having us.
Yep, appreciate it.
If either one of you want to come back on, you're absolutely welcome anytime.
Yeah, once we get a couple of our garages back in order, your air conditioning and my garage up and running, we'll maybe do one that way.
Hey, if you guys want to do one at your garage, I'll bring my stuff out. I don't care.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Go smoky and old fashioned.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. We can do that. Me and Sergio, my buddy over here, we can come out anytime. You just let me know.
All right, brother.
But Curt, James, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Good
See ya.
time. All right, take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll definitely keep in contact, and we'll do this again for sure.
All right.
Cool deal. Bye.
Cheers. See you guys.